Welcome. This is the Bird's Eye View. I'm here with Mr. Crow,
Howdy ho, everyone.
and I am the War Duck. And so, what are we talking about today, Mr. Crow?
I thought our topic we could talk about today is something everybody, can relate to. It's something we all need. It's definitely my favorite as well. It's food. Some of my stuff that I think about it is, like I said, we all need it, but yet not everybody agrees to how it's prepared or what you're eating is good. Or so I thought for sure we could talk a little bit more about what it is your favorites. What are you? How did you get started in cooking for yourself? Things like that. It's just
So,
just about food.
so are you talking
Let's
about
talk
like
food.
pineapple on pizza, or are you getting a little more in depth with it?
Oh, I'm talking a lot more in depth than that.
All
Pineapple
right.
on pizza is just the war topic. we don't need to go straight there, but we can talk.
All right.
Like
So I don't do much cooking itself. I had to when I was a bachelor, of course, but
okay,
being married now, if I'm doing something like I'll barbecue, I'll be the one to barbecue. But
okay.
I'm not going to be the one to go in the kitchen and whip up the family meal. That's super unlikely.
So when you say
So
barbecue, though, what are you barbecuing? What are some? What is your go to?
just burgers is usually my go-to. Like I had a really bad steak
Oh,
thing. Like it's kind of a super long story, but I'll like the short of it is when I was younger, uh college days, not a whole I mean like not younger like teenager, but when I was in college, my buddy and I had a place together and we would always get these big thick giant
like
Costco
inch,
steaks.
1 inch
Yeah,
sticks. Okay, yeah, yeah.
and we would barbecue them up every weekend or so. This particular time, my other friends came over and we were doing way too much stuff that you shouldn't be doing. And I probably went a little past where I should have went. And then we had these big, thick, juicy steaks, and like I don't know, like 30 minutes later, like it was like spewing out of my finger between my fingers and stuff, right? And
Oh,
I, I got so sick. And one of those actually life-changing moments where I was looking in the mirror and I was just like, okay, never again am I gonna get here again. Let me take a mental picture, click, to remember how I feel, to remember what I look like with it down all over me and stuff, and going, never again will I ever get here. And then ever since then, like I'll eat steak, but it's not something where like, oh, I'm just craving a steak. I
yeah,
can
yeah.
I can never get there again. But if it's there, I'll eat it. It's hard for me to like order it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So so
Because you have a different option to order a hamburger instead.
well, no. If we're at like a barbecue place, I'll generally order like baby back ribs
Okay.
or something like that, or some pork confit or something like that. If we're out in a barbecue place, but if we're at home and I'm doing it, like the go to is burgers. So
Okay. All right. I don't get to prepare steaks much at my house either. Like my wife is she had a moment much like you have is when she was a young child. Like her father was a hunter and he brought home the deer and hung it downstairs in their laundry room upside down, and I guess they were asleep when he got back, right? So she had no clue. And when she walked into the laundry room, and and this is a big basement, so it's a big laundry room, and she walked in there, and here's this deer hanging upside down, and then that I think a couple days later they were eating these steaks or a roast or something, and she's like, "What in the world is this? It doesn't taste right." So my wife doesn't like steaks either. She hates it when
doesn't like
somebody comes
steaks, even
by.
though that was venison.
No,
Venison tastes very different,
yeah,
but she just
she's
can't do
not.
the steak.
No, she
So
doesn't.
do you know
She
why they
like.
hang them upside down like that?
I have no clue.
It's to let
I'm
it
not a hunter
age.
or
It's
a.
to let it age and cure kind of
Oh, really?
yeah, it's part of the process of butchering an animal. They do it with actually cow meat too. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
seen the racks where they're just yeah.
Well, they do it with
So
like pigs, and they even do it with chickens too, don't they? Like
chickens I can't confirm, but the rest of them,
they do with.
yeah.
I know they do with pig. I
So
know they with cow. My kids and I, as a joke, long time ago too, were taking a long trip, and we are all hungry. And I pointed off to the side, and I'm like, "Look, kids, it's zombie hamburgers. They just don't even know it." So we call them zombie hamburgers.
So my dad had a ranch a few years ago, just a little one, but he had some cows, and so they were like grass-fed, natural Angus beef
Okay.
cows and stuff. And as he got older, him and his wife, it became more difficult to slaughter the animals. Like they became more pets-ish. Right?
Okay.
They were
Yep.
naming them and shit. And like I was, and then so like, but I was like, man, these are fantastic, you know. But they got to the point to where as they got older, it just became harder for them to butcher the animal, where they were calling somebody in to do it, and it just kind of
Oh,
became an
that's sad.
ordeal for them. So yeah, kind of too bad. But
Yeah. No, we
so
my
what?
house we eat
So
a
are
lot
you
of
doing like gourmet? You like gourmet cook, or what are you
I
cooking up?
I love to cook. I got so many years ago I was laid off of a job, and I got very frustrated. I've always enjoyed cooking. This is kind of going into how I really got into it big time now. But yeah, it was a couple of years ago I got laid off from a job, and really went through a really dark time for myself as well. And the thing that I was told and coached to do was find something that brings you joy. And I really started like it started with food. I started cooking for people, and they're like, "Oh, this is really good," and they'd sit there and talk about it. And so then I started experimenting a little bit more, and yeah, I definitely find myself cooking things a lot more towards things like I used to find it funny, but like everybody knows Gordon Ramsay and his kind of stuff that he kind of cooks. And yeah, I use that as a guideline. Like I try to cook along those kind of lines, like my presentation wise, taste wise, even if it is just something as dumb as a 30-minute meal for my family. It takes me 3 hours to prepare well, not all, that's like
So
sometimes a little over it, but no, it takes me an hour and a half to prepare things for the
yeah.
cooks, and
So
I
what's
enjoy it.
your favorite, or what's your best or favorite or best thing to cook? I guess I don't know how to word it. So whatever.
So I have a few things that I like to cook myself. I've really been enjoying cooking the carne asada, because there's so much that you can do with it, and it makes it presentable so much. I love being able to dice up the tomatoes and the jalapenos and also the onions, and it brings all these beautiful colors together. And then when it's final onto that taco, or onto the shell, if you will, and but yet marinating that meat just the day before has been something. So that one's a go-to. If you ask me, like, if you're like, hey, why don't you whip me up something in an hour, I'll be like, all right, let's do some stir fry. Like I go into there, I love bringing in all the beautiful colors there and bringing the flavor into the chicken there, and that's pretty quick and something you can do very easily with thighs.
So
That was something else I learned.
do
Use
you
thighs.
have something that you like to cook that doesn't taste as good as? Oh, okay, so is there something that you like to cook because it tastes great, but it's not as fun to cook? And is there something that's funner to cook than it tastes? I don't know. Do you get what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I know what you're saying is like, yeah, because one thing that comes to my mind is like chili. It's so fun to like just all the work that goes into like chili, like just stupid chili. It's so fun. But then when you sit down and people look at it and they're like, cool. They're like, chili. But there's so much that goes into it, and it is so worthless. It doesn't, you're just like, yeah, we're having chili.
So,
um
like, here's my problem with food is I really love to eat food,
yeah.
and therein lies my whole problem is I can just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and Like I would literally eat myself to death. I guarantee it. If there was just food in front of me all day long. Like if there was just food in front of me all day long, I would just die from eating. I swear to God. And so that's like my problem is like I'm kind of glad that I'm not that much of a cook and stuff because like I would be 300 pounds easy. I already know I'd be 300 pounds easy and I would die before I was 50 enjoying food because let's be honest, food tastes really good. It's just unfortunately not good for you sometimes.
Yeah, depending on some of the stuff that you can do to it, yeah, it's not very good for you.
But my wife cooks this stuff, and I'll try to get the recipe and put it in the description. It's called crack chicken.
Okay.
And I gave the recipe to Twisted, and he fucking about died like eating the whole bowl of it. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's like,
it's got crack.
I made some for me, and I made some for the family.
Nice. I like
it is
this.
Literally, like, very, very hard to just eat your portion size. And it's like, it's shredded chicken with rice and some ranch and bacon and some other things I think mixed in there. But, dude, they call it cracked chicken for a reason. And like I said, I'll try to get the wife to give me the recipe and put it down in the description. And then maybe next time you can cook it up and tell me what you think about it.
We can talk about that. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, like, I am just really like that's what like I'm like okay, don't cook much this right. There's never any leftovers for the next day because normally in our meal things is she'll cook, and the twins don't really. One day the twins will eat, the next day they won't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so like so the next day we often have leftovers as our meal.
Okay.
But when it's cracked chicken, there is no leftovers. It's just gone. and then I'm like, I ate too much.
And she's all like, I tripled that recipe. And you're like, I could tell because I ate half of it.
I'm like, all right, I lost 8 pounds in the last 2 weeks, and they were having cracked chicken. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, I've had some of those.
All right, I gained 2 pounds over the last 2 weeks. Whoops.
Those are nice.
But
I was going to tell you one of the other things too that to go along and answer your question on the other one is I always have in my mind spaghetti is going to just be amazing, right? It's going to look good, and I throw it on the. I always think it looks great, and I'm not talking just cook noodles and throw ragu on top or something. You know, I'm cooking it. It's from home. It's home style, and I give it to the kids, and they're always like, spaghetti, okay. It's always. It's one of those.
Gee, thanks.
I'm like, thanks.
So do you use spaghetti noodles, or do you switch up noodles sometimes, or what do you do?
It depends what kind of sauce I'm gonna cook. You know, if it's gonna be something a little bit thicker, then I'll use something. Now I just went blank on what the corkscrew ones. What are they? Rigatoni, I think is what they are. I don't watch those too much, but then if I do Alfredo, I definitely do the fettuccine or I'll do a thin spaghetti. It just kind of depends.
Is it like taboo to use like that sauce with different noodles or something? Or
I don't know. I found out that if it's a chunky type of spaghetti sauce, you know, like usually I'll have a meat in there. Yeah. I'll put like some pork or like a sausage type thing, or and I'll also do like half a hamburger as well or something. And if it's going to be something a little bit thicker, the noodles tend to grab onto that a little bit better.
All right. So it's your wife's birthday. What are you making for dinner?
Oh, I go take her to sushi.
Oh, man.
She loves sushi. I can't cook it. I don't know. I so want to learn how to do it, but I don't know how.
Isn't sushi raw fish anyway?
Yeah. You know, to an extent, yeah, it's raw.
You don't have
but
to
yeah, yeah, you don't have to cook it, but there's so much preparation in it, and it's so gorgeous. I love to sit at the sushi bar and just watch the cook do it. They have some amazing stuff.
Never catch me at the sushi bar. I do not eat raw stuff. I just do not eat raw stuff.
You talked about that in one of our bird's eye views, and you got me thinking.
Even my steaks are medium, dude. I don't want no pink in that stuff, man.
Okay.
I've gotten just sick way too many times eating stuff, and I like, okay, I need that cooked.
But you've been around the world a little bit and have had some very odd food, we'll say.
Yeah,
not normal. And so yes, knowing that it's cooked and thoroughly cooked, things are dead that are not supposed to be there anymore. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why I don't like pork. Like I'm nervous on pork. There's so much that can go wrong.
And see, I always overcook chicken for that same reason. Like, it freaks me out, and so I always overcook chicken. Not to the point to where it's like rubbery, but to the point where it's, if I left it in there any longer, it would be over dry. Right?
Okay.
Like I've bitten into that chicken burger, and just the inside was just raw and just like, nope.
I've been there. I've had some of those. Yeah, and I've been in that same boat.
Man, yeah, and being in third world countries and other things like that, you always hear of like the worst show in the world for you to ever watch before you travel is the Monster Within Me or something. Where they document like people going somewhere and then ended up with some parasite that they didn't know, and all this health stuff was going wrong, and now they're in the United States and nobody knows what's going on there. And then they finally found out they traveled to BFE somewhere, and did you pet a turtle or something, And they're like, yes, I did. And then they're, that's why you have this crawdad in your eye or some shit, you're like, what the fuck? So
I am terrified of botflies because of that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to a third world country where botflies can possibly land on me. Nope.
But yeah, so going to a third world country, and then like you're like, oh yeah, you got pizza? All right, cool. And then like they give you pizza and they give you like the ketchup bottle, and then like there's like meat on it, and you're like, I don't ever remember seeing any cows around here, so now, yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that. So yeah, kind of a little bit scary. But even when I'm cooking at home or something, like I just can't do raw. I can't do raw stuff, and wife likes her steaks a little rarer than I do, and I have a hard time even just like putting it on the plate that it's done when it's bleeding still. I'm like, oh god.
That is the reason why my wife, she hates the phrase, I'm craving a big juicy steak. She's like, you realize that's blood. She's like, that should be dry.
Yeah.
If it's juicy, it's A1 or something.
So there you go, A1.
No,
so there you go. What's your favorite sauce?
What's my favorite sauce?
Yeah.
And
that could be like a hot sauce or steak sauce or any kind of salad sauce or whatever.
Okay, now you're gonna call me crazy because it really depends.
Arby's sauce.
Oh, I love Arby's sauce too.
I know that stuff is good.
I was gonna like, if you go to Chipotle, the only hot sauce I like is Tabasco sauce on their stuff. But yet, if you go to we have this local burrito shop that's kind of local. Not Chipotle. Cholula is the only sauce that tastes good on that. On the tacos that I make, Tabasco and Cholula are horrible on it. So we go with Tapatio. And so yeah, we have
I've never even heard of that one.
We have so many different hot sauces. Like I could go upstairs and bring out probably a dozen or more. I pretty much just use
Frank's, dude. I put Frank's. Okay. I put that shit on everything, just like
I was gonna say. Frank's sauce is awesome on chicken nuggets, like the chicken nuggets. I pop those in the dry fry or the air fryer.
We just recently got an air fryer. That thing's changed our life.
Oh yeah, those things are amazing.
We even took it camping with us.
Oh, awesome! But Frank's sauce on those Dino Bites, because that's what the kids like. Or Dino Bites.
I like smoked oysters, so I got these cans of smoked oysters, which my wife hates. She hates because of the smell. So like I'll eat it and I love Frank's on it and stuff, and I like drain the stuff down the sink and stuff, and then she'll come in and she'll be like, Joe, did you eat oysters again? So then she's like, Lysol and everything.
I like sardines going on that, just sardines and crackers, and I'll dump
See, I
Tabasco
can't.
sauce or Louisiana sauce on that. Like, I love that stuff.
I can't.
But my wife does the same thing. She's like, "Go eat that outside."
Yeah, I can't do the sardines. The whole fish thing kind of gets me a little bit.
I accidentally, so here's a goofy story. I accidentally grabbed what I thought was going to be a can of sardines. I reach up there, grab them, and go out and get all the way home, and I pop the can open because I was craving these sardines, and they're frog legs. I'll tell you right now, I don't like frog legs.
See, my
couldn't do
brother and
it.
I used to go down to the pond and catch them, and my mom would fry them up. And to me, they just taste like chicken. So like it doesn't
This
really.
did not taste like chicken
But-
or sardines.
But my mom used to like cook them, and they would like hop around the pan. It's pretty funny to watch those. But-
like he's not dead yet.
Yeah. Like,
Do
oh
we
man,
have to-
kill him again, get him. But
Oh,
yeah, we
man.
used to go frogging we'd go down there in the pond for hours and frogging, bring home like 10 or 15 frogs, and then cut the legs off, throw them in the pan, watch them all dance around in there, and then man, yeah, it's like chicken for me though. That's kind of what they tasted like. But I even went as far as getting like I like calamari, right? So,
Okay, yeah, I like calamari.
So wife one day accidentally got, instead of the smoked oysters, she got smoked octopus.
Okay.
And so they were like this big, like all the tentacles and stuff. They were like that big, and so just throw hot sauce and eat them like that. Wife was like, yeah, no, but it still tasted fine to me. Like, I don't know. I like seafood though for the most part. Not a fish guy. You a fish guy?
I am. I'm the only one that and I'll still eat a lot of food, but the pig is still the only one that I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
never
fish.
had a lot of flavor.
So
I love fish.
So for
I
me,
love
I grew
seafood.
up eating fish and lots of salmon. Like we always went camping and always had salmon. And
Oh, yeah.
Mom would cook it up poached style, I think is what she called it. Basically
Okay.
sauteed in water, lemon,
Yeah.
and salt or something like that.
Mhm.
And as these little chunks and stuff. And I remember eating that stuff forever as a kid. At some point, though, like I don't like fish anymore. Per se.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like when the wife's like, "Hey, we're having fish," I'm like,
Okay.
and then I'll like eat it and it tastes all right, but like fish to me will never sound good ever.
Okay.
Never. If you ever ask me, "Hey, do you want to have fish?" I'm gonna be like, no. But if it's already cooked and sitting there, I might try it and stuff. But I've had some supreme smoked salmon dip that was amazing that our friends had brought over. And then I've had some salmon cooked some different ways that was very good. But for me, like fish has to be, basically I like fish with my lemon juice
Yes.
is basically how I have to eat it
Yep.
now. So like when we go, like Seattle was amazing for fish and chips. And they
Okay.
had these really good halibut or cod whitefish. That's kind of the only fish I can really stand right now is whitefish.
Okay.
So I'd drench it in lemon, get the bread all lemony, and then eat it, and it was great. But I can't really do it without the lemon part. I don't know why that is, but
Just drench it.
yeah, just pretty much just drench it.
Okay.
So.
My kids have really found they're in the whitefish. So like tilapia is a big one that they really like, and halibut. I think out of a family of 6, only 2, maybe 3 don't like. So about near half of the family doesn't like salmon either. They've reached that point. I usually make I like my favorite way to cook up the salmon is bourbon. I do a bourbon style.
I don't think I've ever had
Oh.
that. Okay,
It's
well,
just bourbon and brown sugar.
one last food topic as we're starting to run a little long
Okay.
here. What food would you absolutely you're not doing?
Will not do it. What is it called? Balut? I think it's that egg with a young duck in it. I know people.
I
Have
never
you
even
never
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it?
I never
It's
even
called a
heard of it.
I'm pretty sure it's called a balut, and it's I think in the Philippines. I think it's way out
Oh,
there
you're
is all
getting
I know.
exotic.
Yeah, it's something amazing for them, but it's a duck egg, and the duck is it's before the beak is fully hard because they say that the
So
that
it's
crunch
like an embryo.
it's an
Oh,
unhatched duck that comes to a certain egg, and it's kind of fermented from what I understand. It's just a
I suddenly
it's
got that smell. I was just like, oh.
exactly. They say that if you can get past this smell, but the taste is so, and no, I don't think I could do it. There's
Man.
those kind of weird things that like I don't think I could do. Like I know people eat crickets and grasshoppers and stuff, and I think if I was starving I could probably do it, but I won't have
Yeah,
a
I've
scorpion
done.
lollipop. They don't sound
I
good.
don't know about the scorpion live, but I've done like the crickets and stuff. You know, especially like in chocolate or
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fried in butter or something. I don't know if I could just eat them raw though when they're hopping around, but yeah, like for me, like it's pretty much anything raw, right? Like I just, it's not even some exotic thing like
It's just it can't
matter,
be
but
raw.
just raw. Like I'm not doing something raw. Like I was watching a show the other day, and I think it was Japan or China or Taiwan, one of the Asian places. I forgot exactly, but they were wrapping up like live octopus, these little tiny, and then swallowing them
And
whole.
just slurping. Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, that thing. I was like, oh, there ain't no way in hell did that thing be all flipping around in your mouth and going down your throat. I was like, I was like,
yeah.
no.
See,
I was like, and
they have a
I was like, nah, it's raw
there's
anyway. I don't.
I think there's like a sushi place or something pretty big in the Asian area somewhere over there, and they have an octopus that they set on top of this on like a bowl of rice or something, and then they'll pour the soy sauce on top of it, and the salt in the soy sauce makes the octopus start moving, and they'll
Oh
just sit
man.
there and start chowing it, and I'm like, nope, nope, I don't think I can do that. Nope. Like I'm okay. I can do octopus. I've done it. I don't mind it. I love clams. I've never really done oysters, so I don't know if I could do that.
I can't do the
But
raw oyster or the. I can't
like slurping
do.
from the thing, no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
can't
if
do
I
the
could.
steamed and stuff like that. I can't do that. It tastes like feels like snot or something. I can't. I can't do those.
Yeah,
But I can do the smoked ones much better. But
I could definitely do. Can't. Yeah, the smoke.
all
So yeah,
right.
I
Any
think if you go
final words
exotic,
on food here?
get out there and eat. That sounds wrong. Go out there and try some new food. Go out there and eat. Find out what you like and eat it.
Make sure
That
it's
sounds
cooked.
wrong. Make sure it's cooked though,
So
for sure.
in the comments, tell us what is your favorite food to eat and what and then tell us what you're absolutely not eating. So
Yeah,
like,
I
I
want
always
to.
think that's interesting and like there was a lot of times where traveling around the world I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be hungry today.
I'm gonna be a.
'Cause I'm not
This is
eating
coming from a
that.
guy who's had MREs.
And to be honest, like I will try 90% of anything that
Yeah,
somebody else is eating. But there are some lines that I'm just like if it's raw, it's just automatically out. And
yeah.
like if I can't get past the smell, like I'm not eating fermented duck, bro. That ain't happening. All right,
Yeah.
let us know how in the
Cool.
comments what you guys thought and what's your favorite food and what you're absolutely not eating. And we will catch you next time. Much love, all, and we are out.
See everyone. Bye. Maybe escargot would be another one.